Previous to DJing, I was in men's choir. I was always on that side of music, dancing in Florida, dancing hip hop, pop and lock, doing all that. We have Middle Eastern parents, so it's not the most recognized and favorable kind of life path to go down when you are wanting to explore the creative side, which is something that's always been very near and dear to me on the art side and dance and music and all that. So naturally at every party, you know, it's always, back in the day we had cassette tapes. So we're always like, man, we gotta find the song, switch the cassette tape and find the next song and pull it out and where is it labeled? And then from that, it started from party to party. And I think I was about, I wanna say 15. And I said, man, there's gotta be a better way to do this. And I remember kind of just, you know, listening to the radio DJs. And at that time, you know, we didn't have like YouTube to just go look things up. And so I really just said, you know what? Like, people are DJing and I wanna get into it. And I didn't really have a teacher. Way back in the day, I bought a mixer for like 50 bucks from DJ Ballback, who was one of probably the best local DJs. I met him in Tyson's Corner in a parking lot and he's like, hey, I got this mixer for you. It'll last you a long time and here you go. And then I just bought a few other pieces of equipment and I taught myself. You have to have your own kind of personality when you're a lawyer. I do that with my clients and I do that when I'm DJing too. It's a lot of times, for example, you know, when I'm in a courtroom and I'm talking, people are like, oh yeah, that's Kia and that's kind of his delivery. And when he's making an opening or when he's talking to a judge, I have my own personality. I'm very animated. You know, I talk with my hands and things like that. And on the DJ side, it's the same thing. You know, there's always a certain sound. You're like, wait, I hear, like, it's gotta be Kia playing now. There's just a certain kind of just bounce to it and you can hear it. You know, it all comes down to being true to yourself, whether that's in a nightclub with a crowd who's there to just have a good time or with your clients who are just looking for your support and to have your back, you know? To be honest, I'm nervous as hell. When I'm about to start, I have these little freak out moments before an event where I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any music. I don't know what to play. But it's really from the first 5 or 10 minutes in. Once I get the first or second song under my belt, I'm like, and I just see, you can see people's body language. You can see their reaction, like, ooh, yeah, this is gonna be a good time. And then as you kind of go, it's almost like telling a story as a DJ because you've got to carry people through the evening, right? And people are coming out and that may be their only night of the week that they get to go out. And so for me, I put that extra little pressure on myself to say, hey, this is their one Friday night. If they go home and they're like, oh God, that DJ was terrible, I don't want to be that guy. And I'm so grateful to, you know, have been doing this arguably for more than half my entire life, you know, and I forget some of the events that I've done just because it's been 10 years, 15 years, it's crazy. When we were in Toronto, we went on tour and we did Modern Talking, Bad Boys Blue. And it was a little odd feeling to walk out on a stage with, 3,000 people just sitting there and you can't really see. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you can see all the people. You really only see the heads of the first row of, you know, 100 people or 200 people lined up in that, but you can't see any further. And I walked out and it's like dead silent, right? It's that 5 seconds of dead silence that seems like it's like 10 minutes of silence. And internally I was like, it's go time, right? These people are waiting, they've paid for tickets, it's time to hype them up, and it's just pitch black. Not even a single light, nothing had started until I played anything. And I think I played a remix, it was like a Jonas Blue remix of In Your Arms Tonight, and they just went bonkers. I mean, they went nuts. They started singing along within like the first 30 seconds. And it was right at that moment where they flipped the lights and it kind of just panned over everybody's head. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here tonight. And that was one of the true moments because people from the get-go, the thousands of people that were there, they were just there to have a good time. And that's the energy that I feed off of to go for my opening set of half hour, 45 minutes. And that's one that I'll never forget.